There used to be a time when people would call E3 the Super Bowl of gaming, quote-unquote, similar to events like the Game Awards. They were the place where developers and publishers would present everything that would be coming up in the near future, if not years from there. And both events were pretty bad, to the point nowadays E3 is effectively dead. The industry came to realize they didn't need to rent an entire convention center and spend millions on a physical event when a stream showcasing what was coming was just as practical, if not even more effective. But even those are constantly met with negativity, either from people disappointed they didn't get to see an earth-shattering reveal or have their hopes to see certain IPs met. But also because these events are honestly just 2 to 3 hour long commercials, sprinkled with a healthy dose of cringe. I'm prefacing my video with this because for the second time now, I have participated in the Steam Nextfest, an event created by Geoff Keighley himself, and I have to say, I hate it took me this long to finally participate. See, I am what Reddit calls a patient gamer. I don't play games at launch, and what little disposable income I have, I rather spend on a bundle or a big Steam sale, meaning I got a backlog big enough to last me a lifetime, and I still want to be able to truly play everything. Because of this, I always hesitated to download these demos, feeling I should play what I already have, and also hesitating out of fear I wouldn't enjoy what I am playing. What changed this year was that for the first time, I actually sat down and earnestly browsed the hundreds of demos available. If anything caught my eye, I would simply download it and see what would happen, and ended up making a video highlighting the ones I enjoyed the most. I thought that would be the end of it, but I had forgotten they do more than one Nextfest. They are as seasonal as the sales themselves, and I ended up having even more fun this time around. On both festivals, I picked up demos based on what I thought could interest me the most, and in some other cases, I recall hearing about the development of some of these games via social media by the devs themselves, so it made picking them out a lot easier. All I had to do was simply have fun. It's funny in a way to see game demos make a return in recent years, and also to do it so successfully, because within the 7th generation of consoles there was this myth floating around by both developers and gaming players that demos were actually harmful for sales. And that's why it had been slowly phased out, to the point the closest thing we had to demos were paid betas disguised as pre-order bonuses, or just open betas for competitive games. The sad reality of that was that it wasn't just the demos themselves hurting sales. The 7th gen was going through a major military shooter boom, with both fans and critics alike riding that bubble, so it made rejecting games based on the demos all too easy, and thus scaring away most developers from even trying, or at least feeling like they should. But this changed, of course. Over the course of the 7th generation, and to this very day, gaming conferences have more or less soured a lot of people on them. First by making the stage presentations very cringy, untalking overacted demos, hosts trying their hardest to show the audience they are just as cool as their fellow kids, and moments where supposed online voice chat ends out sounding so fake, you'd be forgiven for thinking it was actually in-game dialogue from characters, because honestly, people don't talk like this when playing.
Okay, I got the intel on El Pozolero. He's in a camp up in San Mateo.
Cool, how far is it?
We could use a ride. You got a car out there?
No, something better.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that was before getting into the more bombastic things, like trailers and announcements, and the dissonance that comes with it. I used to watch these shows with the philosophy of not caring if gameplay was shown or not, or if anything was there at all outside of a teasing title card. My real care being about knowing the games existed and more will be shown at a later date as development was made on it. This started to change when one day it dawned on me a few days later I couldn't even remember most of the games I saw, with only the things people highlighted on social media linking within me. If you ask me to recall the number of fantasy games, both RPG and first-person shooters that were being promoted at this year's Summer Games Fest, I wouldn't be able to tell you. Turns out the people who were angry all the games looked the same were actually right. They did look the same, and since some of them wouldn't get a store page until later, I would quickly forget about them, until coming across a news article detailing one of them actually bombed and the studio faced layoffs. And then there's the other problem with these trailers. The dishonesty. Games shown at this event, both good and bad, are playing Russian roulette with the audience. A stage demo can be a bit too honest and tip their hand that not much else is gonna come from the game. On the other hand, a stage demo or a game trailer can be a little bit too good to be true, and then the final product comes out and it's nothing like what years of trailers showed. Just to drive this point home, not even looking at the more controversial titles like No Man's Sky, Colonial Marines, or Cyberpunk that face this, I want you to recall some of your favorite games you played in recent years. Look at how they play and how they were presented. Now look back at how they were promoted, and it's gonna turn out the final product was nothing like that. Not even the build ended up being the same, because it was likely the studio started from scratch shortly after their stage demo. For an even easier example, take a look at Doom 2016's demo. The pacing was slow and bordering on cinematic. The glory kill animations were so long that they became a mountain of mini cutscenes you have to constantly sit through if you wanted to regain health and ammo. And even the mundane stuff like using outside forces to open doors will not be all that different from your regular Call of Duty entry. It's little wonder why everyone who was looking forward to a new Doom became scared and skeptical, with some of them even swearing off the game altogether, with the terrible polygon gameplay not helping matters.
Demonic presence at top save level. Lockdown penetrate.
But then it turns out, either the developers heard the reactions and adjusted accordingly, or they were always going to go this route. But the point is, Doom 2016 was a bombastic, gameplay-driven, beautiful bloodbath. Makes you think that maybe it would have been best to showcase the high-octane gameplay instead of what was essentially a tech demo. So with all being said, I'm gonna go back to a point I made earlier. Making a demo is complicated, so how do you encourage people to play those demos and even take advantage of them to promote your game and raise interest for it? You turn the demos into micro games of their own. The modern Resident Evil games gamify their demos by challenging players to play as much as they can before the timer went off, or to have a dedicated saving on the game to let players loose and enjoy the sandbox for as much as they want, even adding little things like achievements or Easter eggs that people can start hunting over multiple playthroughs. This method has been a success. Just in this Nextfest alone, I came to find out I could sink plenty of hours into these demos, and find out I have a goldmine of new favorites to play, and even some games that I already had demos I got to try and find myself hooked, replaying them because not only are they that good, but it turns out they are an entire chapter spawning multiple hours of gameplay, and looking at them from a certain angle, they are indeed games of their own. I know the title of this video is very conclusive, and I don't discard the chance I might just catch a moment or two from a confidence. I just feel I'm at a point in my life where I just don't have the energy to watch up to 3 hours of commercials and pretend I will get anything of substance that watching the list of games and trailers on YouTube won't already accomplish. Instead, I plan to wait patiently for the next Steam Nextfest, pick a bunch of games that may catch my eye again, and have a grand old time having fun. And at this point, I'll even argue consoles should get their own version of this festival, with demos to try and get to decide for themselves what to get hyped for and invest their money into. Because no matter what happens, in the end, the best way to truly judge if a game is going to be for me and actually feel hyped for its release is by playing it for myself, with my own hands, in the comfort of my own home. This is the biggest constant in gaming I have seen for over a decade. Watching gameplay as a whole is a world apart from actually playing the game yourself. And there will always be a chance your own experience will be completely different from what public perception may tell you.